Hey, yo! It's the 2K Sports pregame show. Yeah.
Greetings.
But, you know, Giannis is what they call the freak. He is a guy who can do things differently than any other person can. He can probably play 4 spots. Parker is going to be tough to guard as he gets more experience.
How do you compare the two, Shaq?
Well, Parker is more skilled of the two.
Hello, everyone. Get ready for NBA action live on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan with Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. We're at the home of the Bucks, the BMO Harris Bradley Center in beautiful Milwaukee.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show, brought to you by Kia.
Welcome, everybody. This is 2K Sports with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. And our coverage tonight will be coming to you from Milwaukee, where the Bucks will be going up against the Detroit Pistons. Well, for Detroit, what a year they're having. They've run up the best record in the NBA with some absolutely flawless performances. They've been a fun team to watch over the first half of the season. Tonight we're featuring the present and the future. Two young teams playing well, and both have the potential to grow into powerhouses. Shaq, what are the coaches telling their guys right now?
Well, Ernie, sometimes younger players get a little too hyped for the game. Coaches got to monitor that. You know, you want your guys to go put their heads down and give a consistent.
The week is starting off right. Monday night, and 2K Sports presents the NBA. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. We're at the home of the Bucks, the BMO Harris Bradley Center in beautiful Milwaukee. And, of course, Boban Marjanovic. Since he's out of the picture, the team will have to fill his shoes.
And as shocked as people are that they would trade away a player of his caliber, they didn't just let him go for nothing. I mean, they got a lot in return. I think it's a deal that's going to really help them down the road.
And David Aldridge is standing by for our pregame report. David, good evening.
Well, guys, for a long time, the city of Milwaukee has been an NBA backwater. But with new ownership, a respected head coach, and a lot of young talent, it's a new day here. Coach Jason Kidd said, "We don't want to be a layover city. We want coming here to be like going through the Texas Triangle, where if you have a dogfight in Chicago one night, you know you're in for a dogfight here the next night." Kevin?
All right, thanks, DA. And as we get into the meat of the season, that rookie wall starts to loom. Chris, did you feel that rookie wall hit you your first season in the NBA?
No, I didn't. I actually felt the rookie wall fall on top of me, Kevin. I mean, it was so long of a grinding season. College was only about 30 games. The NBA, oh, man, 82 games, and you're flying, and you're practicing. It's more than anything you've ever done, plus the age difference and the maturity physically between you and your peers. And so it's definitely something that you have to get used to, and hopefully you have great teammates and some great trainers that can get you to that rough period.
Great points. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the court for the Pistons. On the wings, Caldwell, Pope, and Harris. Andre Drummond is out there with Prez, and it's Young in at the one spot. Now here's Prez. Craig Monroe unable to get his shot to go. Prez kicks to Drummond. Basket good.
And the play is all about Drummond and his solid fundamentals, just taking his time and getting a high-quality chance as a result.
Outside, Antetokounmpo. He kicks it to Monroe. Monroe with a screen on Young. Just 5 on the clock. Monroe, no good. So for Milwaukee, their last game, a win against the Indiana Pacers.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowd out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a counter.
I was amazed at their execution. No matter how loud the arena got, they remained calm and in control.
Here's Lynn. Tobias Harris picking up that last basket. And the Bucks miss again. Now here's Prez. He's coming off a 40-point game against Toronto.
Oh, that's because of the consistent effort on the glass. Unbelievable. The overall energy he played with.
A large part of All-Star Weekend is having the best of the best all gathered in one city. Prez will be among those in attendance once the festivities get underway.
And what a great feeling it has to be for Prez and everyone else to just get to relax and enjoy the game of basketball. All-Star Weekend is completely for the fans, and all these great players are still fans of the game.
And here is Parker following the three-pointer from Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They right now are searching for a bucket.
And you'll ask defenders or would-be defenders of Drummond, he can just punish you physically.
If he drops a shoulder into you, it's like getting hit by a runaway freight train. Because of how strong he is under the rim, he can just shrug off defenders who don't have a strong base. If he hits it on the low block, it's a dunk pretty much every time.
And here comes the break. Stolen by Caldwell-Pope. Ahead. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Nervous?
You have to do better than that if you want to keep Drummond from getting to the bucket. He is just relentless whenever he gets the ball in the favorable spot.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. And some changes here for the Bucks. Miles Plumlee's checked in for Monroe. John Henson comes in for Parker. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Brogdon. Morris is checked in for Detroit. Jackson comes in for Caldwell-Pope.
One shot.
And play stops as it looks like they call an over the back here. Perhaps the most memorable team, Chris, you played on, the Kings of the early 2000s. We see a lot of teams now that have that same up-tempo style with great passing. Is this the way basketball is meant to be played?
You know, I think so. I think, you know, you have 5 players on the court.
Way to work, gentlemen. Let's go now. Hustle up. I like what I see out there, fellas. We're playing like we want it more than them.
Touch the ball, and as a fan, for me, it's nothing worse than watching a team come down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possessions and the guy try to go one-on-one and he really can't score. And you're looking at the coach like, get this guy off the floor. So team basketball is great. Why? Because you get more open looks, better shot selection. You get different guys in different positions. And I think most importantly, you don't think about this, you get more highlights because it makes the defense move from side to side. It makes the defense more engaged and pay attention. And therefore, when they slip up, it's that much more special with the play. And you can only do that mostly with 5 players that move the ball. So, yeah, team ball is definitely the best player. But even on the best teams, you need a guy that can go get you some buckets.
Like that. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Chris, there may be some debate around the league right now, but in your mind, who is the best power forward in the game when you take everything into account?
Wow, I mean, you look at Anthony Davis, Blake Griffin, Draymond Green, Zebo. When I look at all of them, I'd probably have to go with Draymond Green because he plays defense, he rebounds well. Anthony Davis is right there, and maybe just his teammates haven't allowed me to pick him. But you know what? I would have to say Draymond Green and Anthony Davis are on my short list.
Yeah. Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Lewis checked in for Drummond. Johnson comes in for Prez. And it's Ish Smith. Bucks trail by 12. Maker out there with John Henson. And then there's Antetokounmpo. Then there's DJ Augustine. And it's Brogdon in at the 2 spot. So that's who Milwaukee starts the second with. And there's the 3-second violation. Now the Pistons with it. They're on an 11-3 run right now. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Prez in their last game against the Raptors was phenomenal. He scored 40 points and was on point from beyond the arc as well, making a lot of three-pointers. The numbers in that game make me anxious to see what he can do tonight. Kevin?
Thanks for the report, David. You had to just marvel, guys, at what he was able to do that night, didn't you?
You know what? It was the game of basketball being played at its highest level. No question who their MVP was in that win.
Oh, well, let's see if he gets special attention now by the defense. You know, obviously they saw what we saw, but how much do they try to take away from him early on?
Bucks trail by 12. Antetokounmpo with the ball. Picked up by Harris. The shot by Brogdon, no good. The Pistons have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. And Harris gets it to go on the assist by Drummond. Drummond's got 3 assists now in this one. The Bucks shooting it disastrous, 25% from the field so far. Parker, that one falls, his second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
Great playmakers help everything run so smoothly. Excellent lead pass.
And Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's already got the personality of a star. And when you look at the overall skill set, I mean, he's very close to becoming an elite player in this league. I mean, he does a little bit of everything. And he can do it in a multitude of positions. That the Greek freak, as they call him, is the kind of player who can become the face of a franchise. And I think also because of his versatility, he's got the kind of game that you can mix and match with other types of players that I think could lead to a lot of success for this franchise.
What an amazing display of concentration by Drummond, taking the hit like a champ and completing the bucket.
Augustine dishes to Maker. Pass to Antetokounmpo. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris. And the Bucks making a change here. Monroe's checked in. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for the Pistons. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And talking about the potential of Giannis, some experts feel he's only a jump shot away from being a perennial all-star.
And he's cleaned up his mechanics as well, still trying to develop that consistency. But on the playmaking side of things, he has excellent vision. Also racks up a lot of rebounds, blocks, and steals. So 2 things he really needs to avoid, though, to take the next step: turnovers and foul trouble.
Here's Prez. Rebounded by Greg Monroe. Bucks trail by 19. Parker passes to Augustine. Back to Parker. And the dunk by Maker.
And a hard finish there, guys.
Yeah, and only one hand needed for that one. And Young kicks to Harris. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play.
Wow, he had a rough first quarter, but he didn't let it get him down. He's gotten off to a hot start in this second period.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. Their last meeting was in Detroit, where they were unable to fight off the Pistons.
Yeah, they just caught a team, Kevin, that was in a zone, and they didn't have the manpower defensively to disrupt them.
Well, they also made few, if any, effective adjustments. Defense is all about hustle.
A dominating first half of basketball, and so...
Thanks, Kevin. Kentavious, you guys came out with a lot of energy in the first half. What got you going?
Like you said, we came out with a lot of energy.
Good work, guys. Bring it in. Have a seat. I love the energy, fellas. I really do. But now we got to keep it up and stay focused. Now stay focused, guys. Let's win this game and go home.
Welcome back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the buildings of downtown reflecting off the gentle waters of beautiful Lake Michigan. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Nice game, great performance by Prez.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
He's taking his time, not forcing anything, just getting his points within the flow of the offense.
On the floor for Detroit, on the wings, Caldwell, Pope, and Harris. Prez out there with Andre Drummond, and it's Young in at the point guard position. Lets it go from 11. Prez, no good.
That's a shot you see him make all the time in warm-ups. He just messed up the release there.
One of last year's flashiest free agent signings, 3 years, $60 million. Greg Monroe did not disappoint.
Yeah, really thrived playing a lot at center after having spent the early years at the power forward position. Well-rounded post scorer with excellent court vision, and plus a rebounder at both ends of the floor. That subpar athleticism can hurt defensively at times, but he is an asset on the floor.
And a chance to compare steals versus fouls over the last 5 games and the season as a whole for Levens.
And what that trend over the last 5 games tells me is that he's gotten a little bit out of control at the defensive end. You like to see guys going for steals and trying to make an impact with their D, but when it leads to the foul numbers blowing up, that impact becomes a negative one.
Here's Parker, makes it off the glass. Parker's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Prez dishes to Drummond. Tries again, and it's good on the layup. Drummond's got 8.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Outside, Lynn. Monroe with a screen on Young. Lynn the pass to Monroe. The basket good off the assist from Lynn. Monroe's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Prez, no good.
Well, it's not the best start to this half. 1 for 4 is not the start they probably envisioned.
Knocks it loose. Parker outside, dishes it to Monroe. The feed to Antetokounmpo. Chris, throughout your career, you spent a lot of time down low on the blocks, and we're seeing less of that now, those post-ups that were such a primary option when you played in teams' offenses. Does that concern you? Is that good or bad?
It's concerning from this point. Kids aren't being properly coached. In the middle school and the high school level. Kids don't know how to play on the post. When you look back through the history of this game, whether it's been guards or big fellas, the post is not about how tall you are. The post is about how the closer you are to the basket, you usually have an advantage. And if you have game, then that pump fake game down there work and get you to the foul line. And if you are a good passer, then it draws the double team. It changes the angle that the defense has to look inside and play. It helps slow the pace down sometimes in the playoffs when the game gets tough and a little bit more physical. And we can say that everybody's changed their game, but only one team wins a year. So, you know, I don't know if the trend is necessarily not there with big guys not in the post. When I look at guys like Drummond, Blake Griffin, Dwight Howard, Horford, Jordan, Zebo, the Gasol brothers, it's still a lot of post players out there. So I don't subscribe to that opinion that is less on the post. I just subscribe to the opinion that maybe coaches don't want to coach that way because guys have post game. But we just have to see if the game will change. But small ball right now is what everybody loves.
Great perspective. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, guys, Jabari Parker took an unconventional route to rehab his knee after his ACL surgery. He trained in the Andes Mountains of Peru. The altitude helped the stamina, but Parker said it was also a trip that I took for character. We take a lot for granted. Kevin, even growing up poor in the U.S., Parker said, you don't realize how fortunate you are. Kevin?
Great stuff, D.A., and a great way to put that injury into perspective. Out of bounds, Milwaukee takes possession. Chris, you played for 5 different teams. How much does the city you live in and call home matter during an NBA season?
Well, it's different for everybody. You know, it's different for everyone. It was great to go home to Detroit for me because I wanted to live and stay in my city. I wanted to eat my mother's cooking before the game. You know, not many times could I do that. You know, I can only do that once or twice or once a year playing on the West Coast. So, you know, those type of things, being close to your family, you know, if you have younger siblings or children, that type of thing, you know, if you have kids with school they go to, you know, I've seen players take and weigh all those things. But for me, I've just been blessed to play in some great places with great fans. Washington, D.C. was a wonderful place. You know, that city really showed us a lot of love as a young team trying to find our way. And then Sacramento, you know, just some of the greatest fans in the world as well, just embracing us. And they had embraced the Sacramento Kings in so many losing seasons, so that's just who they were. Their character was just that of encouragement, and so I'm glad that we were able to give the people of Sacramento what they have been waiting for so long, and that's some exciting basketball. And so, you know, the cities that you play for are very important. And me as a fan, you know, I still thank the Bad Boys for how they represented the city of Detroit during those years, and Isaiah and Joe Dumars and Bill Laimbeer. So for me, just from a fan perspective, the relationship with the city, the players, is always important.
Well said.
Hey, man, he's in attack mode, crashing the glass, then goes right back up with it.
Passes to Henson. To the right side. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Shot clock at 5. Here's Lynn. And that one comes up a bit short. Detroit leading by 16. Johnson kicks to Smith. The dish to Jackson. Drummond up top, down low. Smith the pass to Lure. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And his free throws are falling at a rate of only about 72% on the season. Not terrible, but listen, you obviously would expect him to do better.
Free throw good, Lure. Outside, Lynn drills it from outside. Lynn's got 8 points. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Pistons lead by 16. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter next.
Who's got next? We're kicking off the All-Star festivities with a showcase of the best of the league's up-and-coming talent. It's the Rising Stars Challenge.
A chance now to hear Jason Kidd talking to his team moments ago.
We're not talking to each other. Offensively or defensively, let's talk.
And Coach Jason Kidd citing one of the things that can happen over the course of an evening, a breakdown in communication.
And the problem is, even in a league of superstars, this is ultimately a team game. You have to work together to succeed.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. DJ Augustine out there with Brogdon. Then there's Monroe. Then there's Maker. And it's Parker in at the 3 slot. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. Bucks trail by 19. Screen by Monroe. Detroit with the rebound. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. That'll be the first of 4 played at home for them. Harris kicks to Morris. Good, and Harris gets the assist. And the Pistons lead by 21.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Monroe right side. They set the screen. Parker. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. That one on Harris. And what a solid comeback Jabari Parker made last year after an ACL ended his rookie season before Greg had even began.
Yeah, and what the injury did was force Jabari to become stronger and more well-conditioned in terms of his training. When feeling his best, he's a dynamic scorer off the dribble. Struggles a little on D, but the rest of his game has enormous upside.
Andre Drummond's checked in for Morris. That misses, so he splits the free throws. You look around the NBA, Chris, at all the head coaches, a lot of new names. Why do you think teams are still looking for fresh faces on the bench? Guys that may not have the big name that get the head coaching jobs?
Well, I think because guys want to see something new. I think sometimes you get to see a guy's personality or a situation may precede itself as far as for a coach. And so I think a lot of times people just kind of want to start things off with a clear slate their way and have the loyalty of a guy that's only coached for their team. And for some it works, for some it doesn't. But once again, it's only one championship to go around a year.
Well said. Giannis Antetokounmpo's checked in for Milwaukee. Jeremy Lin comes in for DJ Augustine. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. Lin kicks to Parker. Lets it go from 14. And the call will be against Prez. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Boy, did he go hard to the boards, but clearly went over the back in doing it.
And Milwaukee has possession. Kicks it to Lin. Pass to Monroe, and stolen by Drummond.
Terrific defensive instincts on display there to get one of his big paws on the ball. Fantastic job. After failing to be aggressive and look for his...
That athletic ability there.
Wow. Jumped out of the gym.
And look at Prez getting fancy out there. He loves putting on a show with that unreal athleticism.
9 feet out, the putback.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Outside for Caldwell Pope. The Pistons working the ball around now. There's the pick. And here's Young from the arc. That was enough space for Young to convert the deep ball.
And Young can knock those down if you give him the chance.
Lin kicks to Monroe. To the middle. And Parker gets it to go. The assist by Monroe. And that's 13 points for Parker.
And no matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball inside.
Down low. Here's Prez. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Prez has got 21.
You got to respect Prez from the interior. He just knows how to get it done down inside.
1:51 left to play here in the fourth. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Just throw it up to Prez and he'll take care of the rest. Just an extraordinary athlete.
For Milwaukee, they've gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6, and the shot goes in. Parker's got 11 points here in just the second half. There's 1:40 left here in the fourth quarter. Prez kicks to Caldwell Pope. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
Oh, you asking me? The defense has been garbaggio. I've lost track. The D has been non-existent, and they've taken full advantage of it.
Here's Parker. Rebound, Detroit. Drummond's got his 7th rebound here tonight.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Detroit.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And the wins continue to come in fairly easy for these guys in what's been a very strong year, to say the least. Tonight will push them up to 56 wins.
And this will be their third win in 3 tries against these guys. They match up so well. And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Prez.
Man, he just had one heck of a game. He gave them an almost unstoppable option every trip down the floor. They asked a lot of him tonight, and he did not disappoint.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Marcus Morris is checked in for Drummond. Johnson comes in for Harris. And Levins is subbed in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And so Young nails them both. And the Bucks are an interesting team. There was the trade involving Brandon Knight and Michael Carter-Williams a while ago. They signed Greg Monroe to a free agent contract last season. They re-signed John Henson. A lot of moving parts with the Bucks.
And they're still trying to identify the right combination of players because they're still struggling with consistency. On paper, at times, it seems like the team should have more wins than it actually does.
Prez dishes to Morris. Shot clock at 6. From about 16, Young's shot is off.
You know what? You just cannot get much better of a look than that one.
Oh, well, it's a product of good, patient offense. Great shot there.
Antetokounmpo against Johnson. And Antetokounmpo gets it to go. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter. No one near Prez as he lets it go. Detroit, no good that time either. Terry with it. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you later.
What's up, Steve?
What's going on, Prez? Guys back in the studio want to talk to you.
Perfect.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. Now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Prez.
Hey there, this is Shaq. Tonight's win keeps this streak going. Would you say you guys are playing your best basketball right now?
You know, it sure feels like it, man. But that's something we can't, be too caught up in right now. We have to stay focused and make sure that we, keep balling how we have been as long as we can. You feel me?
Yep, keep playing like this. You can get a championship. I don't know yet. Got a big test coming ahead next game.
Oh, we're going to try to get there, man.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew, the best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.
Hey, yo!